Hello students, welcome to this online course of Strength of Materials. So we have started the new topic which was the pure bending. So we are going to see some problems in this lecture. So previously we have seen the bending formula, that was m by I is equal to y by m by I is equal to sigma y is equal to E by R. So that was the first equation, and after that we have seen the section modulus, which will tell you the if we have to compare between two sections, so you can directly compare their section modulus if the permissible stress is same in both the materials. If material is same, then sigma is obviously going to be same. So sigma is same, and if z is more, then that section will carry more flexure or more bending. So z is a comparative parameter to compare the bending resistance which can be taken by that particular section. So this interpretation of stress section variation from pure bending equation can be seen by this diagram. So section can be it can be of any shape, but the strain variation and the stress variation is going to be same, linear. So strain is linear, this was our assumption. And if strain is linear, then what was strain? Strain is nothing but sigma by E. Okay, what is sigma? Sigma is m by I into y, and if you will divide it by E, what we are going to get? M by sigma is simply m by I only. So there is m is for a particular section, m is going to be constant. Okay, I is constant for a given section, so it is directly depending upon only y. So this variation you have to take in your mind, like you have to understand this, the variation, how it is coming, and if the maximum stress, if it is being asked in the question, and the distance, this y1 and y2, if they are same, then you can calculate here or here, you will get the same value. But let us say sigma y1 is greater than y2, that means sigma max will be proportional to y1. Okay, so you have to take care these things, and in the coming questions we are going to see how we are going to incorporate these concepts in our questions. So let us start with our first problem of this chapter. So in the question it is being said that a simply supported beam of 3 meter span has a cross section 120 mm by 180 mm. So the cross section is given, the span is given. If the permissible stress in the material of the beam is 10 Newton per mm square, so we have to determine the maximum uniformly distributed load it can carry. And the second part is if we have to calculate the maximum concentrated load at a point 1 meter from the support it can carry. So by now I am not going to draw the BMD for you because we have covered it in much detail in the previous chapter. So if you are having any doubt, refer to those lectures, you will get the clear picture. And now for like this chapter, you have to make the bending moment very fast, because in the question, if you will like invest most of your time in plotting the bending moment diagram, then you will get the lesser time to solve these type of problems. So now, like by practice or by experience, I am expecting that you must be having some like idea of simple like standard results of bending moment diagram. So in like I will be directly plotting the bending moment diagram, and I will write the standard values as we have discussed in the previous chapter. So before moving to the question, let us try to understand what is this question. So this is a simply supported beam, that is fine, 3 meters is the span. So what is this cross section? Cross section means this, if you are cutting here, let us say this is xx, so xx will look like something like this. This is a rectangular because 120 and 180. In like previously also I have told you, the larger dimension will be your depth and the smaller dimension will be your width. Okay, so this is the our section, and we have to calculate all the parameters for this section. The beam is given to us just to calculate the bending moment value, so that we can compare this maximum bending moment from here will be equated to the bending moment capacity of this section, and by equating those two values the loads can be determined. So this is the section it will look like. This is the cross section. It is the cross section of the beam. So by symmetry we are having the center of like centroid at the center of this beam. Okay, so first thing we must be knowing that for any calculation we must be having the value of second moment of inertia. For a rectangular section it is symmetrical and about centroidal axis, so BD cube by 12 is there. So this is the value of I, that is our second moment of area. Now what is the permissible stress given to us? Permissible stress is given as 10 Newton per mm square or 10 megapascals. That is also fine. Since the maximum load is been asked, so what we are going to do, we will, this permissible stress will be corresponding to the Ymax value, and here y1 and y2 are same, so the top or the bottom will have the maximum value of stress. So for that y should be Ymax, and that will be 180 by 2, that is 90 mm. Now the moment carrying capacity of the beam will be how much? M is nothing but Z into sigma. So Z is nothing but I into I by Y. So directly put the all the values and you will get the moment carrying capacity of this beam is coming out to be how much? 6.48 into 10 to the power 6 Newton mm. So this is the value. This is constant because this we have calculated for the section. Now depending on the loading we have to compare this moment to the moment coming on due to the external load, and we will equate to get the values of the loads. So first part is stating that UDL is there. So let us say this is a UDL. So for UDL this is your bending moment diagram. Okay, so for this constant, for this center point, the value of bending moment is maximum, that is WL square by 8. You can directly calculate these values. If you are having any doubt, calculate the reaction and check the bending moment at the central point. You will get the maximum value. Or what you can do, write the bending moment equation in terms of x. It will be a function of x. Differentiate it, equate it to 0. You will get the value of x as L by 2. Then calculate the value of bending moment at that location. So this is the standard procedure. We have solved many problems in the previous chapter. So if you are having still any doubt, try to solve some problems from the books. So that is okay. M is equal to W square by 8. Putting all the values, W is coming out to be 5.76 kilonewton per meter. So this is okay. Now we are going to see the second portion of that. What is the second portion? It is stating a load is being applied, concentrated load at 1 meter. So it can be act from any of the side, you will get the same result. So for this kind of situation, if the loading is not symmetrical, if symmetry was there, then it is equal to WL by 4. But due to unsymmetrical loading, if this is A and this is B, so what is this value? For maximum bending moment, W AB by L, and it will occur under the load. So you can see under the load only the maximum bending moment is occurring. I hope this is clear to you. If you are having any doubt, just pause the video, calculate the reactions, and by the help of those reactions try to calculate the value of bending moment, whatever I have just plotted here. So I hope this is clear. So we are having bending moment diagram, bending moment value from the maximum value is W AB by L. So here A is equal to 1 meter and B is equal to 2 meter. So we are dealing in the Newton and meters. So we have converted all the values into Newton and millimeters. So 1 meter will be 1000 millimeter and 2 meter will be 2000 millimeter, 3 meter will be 3000 millimeter. Simply put the values, you will get 9.72 kilonewtons. So these are the loads for which the maximum applied load, the load can be, after crossing this value, sigma is going to increase and it will become greater than 10. Okay, so we cannot exceed the value of sigma by 10 because it is the permissible value. So the beam cannot take, the material of the beam is such that it will fail if the stress generated in that particular beam, the material will fail if it is greater than 10 megapascal. So the maximum load can be allowed as this 9.72 if it is concentrated load acting at 1 meter from the support, and in case of UDL it will be 5.76 kilonewton per meters. So in this way you can solve these types of problems. Now let us try to solve the second problem. So what is stating, a symmetric I section of size 180 mm by 40 mm. Sorry, this is not 40 mm, this is 400 mm. In the diagram I have shown you, so don't panic. 8 mm thick is tendon with 240 mm by 10 mm rectangular plate on top flange. If permissible stress in the material is 150 Newton per mm square, determine how much concentrated load the beam of this section can carry at center of 4 meter span given ends of the beams are simply supported. So 2 minute data is given. So first, step by step we have to proceed. So first is a section is I section is there. So this is our I section, symmetrical I section is there is no problem. This is 400 and this is 180. Okay, fine. Now what we are doing, we are strengthening this I section. The strengthening portion will be deal in much more detail in your structure in your steel structure design. So there you will see how you are going to do that, but here just we are doing whatever is in the question it is stating. So symmetrical is there, so we have to put like this, one plate will be there. So this plate is how much, 240 is the length and the depth is 10 mm, and the depth of this I section is 8 mm everywhere. So this is the beam which we have to deal with. What we are going to do, so symmetry is there due to this axis, but in x axis it is not going to be symmetrical. So what we have to do, we have to calculate the centroid. After this, calculate I by y max will give us z, and multiplied by sigma will give us m, and this m will be calculated by the m coming to the beam due to external loading, and we will have the value of load. So this is the beam this is I section, this is the plate which we have just discussed. Every parameter is shown to you. This is 400 mm, this is 180 mm, this is 240 mm, and the depth of plate was 10 mm, and of the IE section is 8 mm. So this is the your beam as given in the question. So first thing is to calculate the centroid of the beam. Centroid is very easy. So what we have done, for simplicity, we have converted this whole composite figure into 4 parts. So this is the first part, this is second part, third portion is the web portion, and fourth is the lower flange. So section 1 is here, 2, 3, 4. Refer to the particular number if you are having any confusion. Area is this is 2, 3 and 4. Area is A1, A2, A3 and A4. These are the rectangles. So this is 240 into 10. This is 180 into 8. This will be, total is 400. So here this is 8, here this is 8. So this will be 384 into 8, 400 minus 16, and A4 will be 180 into 8. That is okay, fine. Now we are taking our reference as the bottom of this beam. This line is our reference line. Okay, so you have to, either you can take this thing or you can take top. We are taking at bottom. So from bottom we have to take the centroid of all the particular sections. So this is 400, this is 10, so 400 plus 10 by 2, that is 405. y2 will be, for this value, this total is 400 minus 8 by 2, that is 4, so 396. This is y3 and this is y4. So y3 is 400 by 2, that is 200, and y4 will be 8 by 2, that is coming out to be 4. I think this is clear. Now nothing is there, just y bar is what? Summation ai into y I divided by total area. So a1 y1 plus a2 y2 plus a3 y3 plus a4 y4 divided by whole area. Put all the values here, you will get the value of y bar as 258.9 mm. Okay, so this is 258.9 mm. That is fine. Now we have to check whether this is the farther end or this is the this is the farther end, that we are going to see. Now second part of this problem will be, first we have calculated y bar. Now this y bar, using this we have to calculate the moment of inertia. So total moment of inertia will be summation of I1 plus I2 plus I3 plus I4 with respect to the this line. This is the centroidal line. So first I am just explaining and other are same. So first is BDQ by 12 about this axis, the centroidal axis of that particular beam. The moment of inertia is BDQ by 12. So B is 240, D is 10. But our original centroidal axis of this composite section is this. So we have to apply the parallel axis theorem, which state the moment of inertia about this axis plus area is 240 into 10 multiplied by the distance between the two axes. So we are having the centroidal distances from bottom of the beam. So it was 405 and this is 258.9. So just we have to subtract the value of the centroid of that whole section from the centroid of that particular beam from the reference axis. Any way you can put the value, either you just calculate the distances, but this is the simplest way you can do this. So similarly you can calculate all the moment of inertia I1, I2, I3 and I4. Okay, so this was 258.9. we are having I as this, so y top is 151.1 and y bottom we have already calculated 258.9. so y max will be 258.9. so section modulus will be corresponding to y max. It is coming out to be 8,50,905.438 mm cube. So the moment carrying capacity will be m is equal to sigma into z. Sigma is 150, z we have calculated. So finally we are having 127.64 kilonewton meter. So this is the bending moment capacity of this particular beam. Now loading is given. Loading is what? A simply supported beam is there. Load, let us say this is p kilonewton, is the central load. So if this is the bending, this is the simply supported beam, this is L by 2, this is L by 2. So if load is concentrated load, here it will come as, this is W L by 4 or PL by 4, or we have calculated WA by L. Put A and B as L by 2 L by 2, you will get the same value PL by 4. I hope this is clear. So PL by 4 will be compared to the bending moment capacity of the beam, which is how much? 127.64. Put all the values in the respective units. So the bending moment is coming out to be P kilonewton meter equated by 127.64 kilonewton meter. P is coming out to be 127.64 kilonewton. So in this way you can solve these type of problems. First you have to calculate I. If it is a symmetrical section, then very good. If it is a non-symmetrical section, so first you have to calculate the centroid. With respect to that centroidal axis, you have to calculate the moment of inertia, calculate y. Maximum y will be taken for the calculation of z. By using of z and sigma, you can calculate m, and this m should be calculated to the external applied load. The moment is coming due to external applied load. Both the values will be same. If whatever parameter they are asking, you can just calculate that. So in this way you can solve the problems based on the pure bending formula. So this is all for today. Thank you.